Irregularities from the state of Nevada. Now I recognize Congressman Mackenzie from Pennsylvania for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate today's hearing. Obviously, Honduras is a key U.S. partner in Central America, and we want to make sure that they are secure and prosperous and maintaining a good relationship with our country. We also want to work with the Honduran government to address shared challenges in the region, like drug trafficking and reducing crime. And so have a couple questions. I'll follow up on election irregularities, which we just touched on a little bit, but I'm also concerned about what the elections and irregularities, how they can affect our ability to work together, and what it also means for China's growing influence in the region. And so, Ambassador Trujillo, during your tenure as ambassador to the OAS, Honduras shifted diplomatic relations from Taiwan to China. And in your estimation, what factors drove that decision, and how have you seen Chinese influence expand in the country since the decision?
Thank you. It happened after my term in the OAS, but they did shift, and they campaigned on breaking diplomatic relationship with Taiwan in order to favor China. China's been significantly much more active, not only in Honduras, but in the region. If you look at the last 10 years, from Honduras to Panama to the Dominican Republic, I'm sure I'm missing a few, but a lot of those countries have shifted their diplomatic relationships to Taiwan, from Taiwan to China. And in Honduras in particular, they've been significantly aggressive in providing intelligence, in providing some communication support, in providing telecom support, and also providing strengthening diplomatic ties, including multiple state trips from Honduran high-ranking officials, including the president, to Beijing.
So just to highlight again and expand on what you said there about how they had campaigned on that. Tell me how that played in the elections, or how did that contribute to the outcome of the elections?
Well, they actively campaigned on having more normalized relationship, and they always obviously paint it as trade, right? This economic engine of China, we're going to have trade. It's going to help grow our economy. It's played out throughout the rest of Latin America. It's never been the case. China is really good at importing. They're really bad at purchasing exports. So I think that continues to be the case. Going forward, it'll be interesting to see if the candidates from the opposition switch to diplomatic recognition, and whether they leave from Beijing back to Taipei.
And do you think the decision to make that a part of the political campaign in the election was driven by Hondurans, or was that driven by the Chinese?
I think by both. I would say the Honduran officials who accepted the challenge and the Chinese who provided the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. We were pleased to see that the Deputy Secretary of State's statement last week on the upcoming Honduran elections, he echoed the concerns of the OAS. What were those concerns, and what are the concerns that you have regarding the elections, potential irregularities, and what we should be looking for, because we do want to make sure that there are free and fair elections occurring there?
I think the poor functioning primaries were an indicator of what's to come. The delay in the vote counting, the military's active role, the military taking possession of ballots and not having a lot of transparency for all parties involved, including civil society. And I think going forward, it's really the role, as some of my colleagues have said on this panel, of the Electoral Commission. If they're truly allowed to be independent, I'm not saying it'll 100% change the outcome, but at least we'll have the information to verify the outcomes of the election. The question becomes whether Honduran government officials are going to allow them to fulfill their role. And the next 10 days will determine it, but it seems they're increasingly putting more and more pressure on the independence of the Electoral Council.
All right, well, thank you again to all of you for being here today. Obviously, a great topic of interest that we're following very closely in the region, and appreciate your input and testimony today. And with that, I yield back to the chair.
Thank you, Congressman Mackenzie from Pennsylvania. And we're about to wrap this up. I think that we have been able to send a very clear message to the Hondurans, those who are watching this hearing back in Honduras, Tegucigalpa, and whatever other area in the country